Hey guys, Joe here at JP Details with the unfortunate events about the 2019 Mercedes AMG GT. So in short, the owner of the AMG GT got in touch and he wants his awesome looking motor prepared ready for its sale. Before I explain the unfortunate events that followed the AMG GT's detail, I may as well give you a detailed explanation about the stages carried out on the supercar to get it ready for being put up for sale. Like all details, you should always start with the wheels because these areas are the dirtiest areas on a vehicle and they contain contamination which is essentially built up of incredibly small metal particles, also known as brake dust. The AMG GT isn't sporting a carbon ceramic brake setup, so there is quite a fair bit of iron fallout contamination. Ordinary iron fallout removers will be fine on these types of wheels, and the only ones that you don't want to use this product on is ones with carbon ceramic rotors. As you've seen, I have already made a start with giving the wheels and arches an initial pressure wash to remove as much loose dirt and grime as possible. I will then apply my chosen iron fallout product, which today is Built Amber Corrosol. I will then utilise each of my wheel cleaning implements to reach all areas of the wheels, including the inner barrels, the spokes themselves, and of course also reaching behind the spokes. Not forgetting the large yellow AMG brake calipers to satisfy even the biggest of automotive connoisseurs. I do like to take my time whilst detailing wheels, and I do find these areas incredibly satisfying once they are clean, and I'm sure the owner of the vehicle and my client will appreciate my hard and intricate work. To finish the wheel cleaning stage off, I give the tyre sidewall a scrub down with a Tough Shine tyre brush and Valet Pro multi-purpose cleaner diluted around 5:1. Following this process, the wheels are given a pressure rinse before moving to the next corner. With all four wheels given a light decontamination and thorough clean, it is now time to move to the bodywork. Step 1. Give the exterior a complete pressure rinse to once again remove the loose dirt and grime. At this stage I don't spend a huge amount of time pressure rinsing because we still need to snow foam and then pressure rinse again. This initial pressure rinse is going to remove the bulk of the loose stuff before applying a thick blanket of Built Amber Auto Foam to tackle the more stubborn and baked on road grime. I'll give you two top tips whilst working with Built Amber Auto Foam because it isn't a pH neutral snow foam, although so many detailers find this snow foam to be incredibly effective and safe with the correct use, which is why so many of us choose to use it. Auto Foam is an alkaline snow foam, so circa pH 12 on the pH scale, so make sure you don't let it dry on in the sun. If the snow foam does start drying out too quickly, then simply apply another layer. I usually like to apply two. Give the snow foam just enough time to work on the exterior surfaces of the vehicle before it dries out, and then spend some time with the pressure washer rinsing it all off. I'm using a Kranzel K7 which due to its compact size makes it ideal for both unit-based detailing and the mobile work, and with it being of superb build quality, I would highly recommend getting one. With the rinsing down of the vehicle taken care of with a thorough blasting for the wheel arches, we are now ready to move to the direct contact hand wash. Using the 2-bucket method in a Sam's Detailing wash mitt and Sam's Detailing wash shampoo, I'm going to methodically clean the prestigious exterior. I'm not going to fully explain the 2-bucket safe washing method, but if you are in need of an explanation, then please visit some of my other uploads. It's been covered more than once. By adapting to this 2-bucket safe washing method is quite simply going to keep the wash bucket clean to allow us to always use fresh shampoo. The rinse bucket is gradually going to become dirtier as time goes on, which is why we have this second bucket as a rinse bucket. I can assure you that I am utilising both of those buckets just off camera and slightly to the right, because this prestige AMG GT only has 6,000 miles and the paintwork is not suffering from anything more than mild paint swirling, so I certainly don't want to make it any worse. The GT was washed from the top down, so something like the roof first, then the bonnet, then the rear window and spoiler and boot lid. Followed with the sides of the car, and the final things left to clean were the lowest areas and underneath the front and back bumpers, plus under the side skirts and the painted inner arch lips. There must be something inside of me that pushes for nothing but perfection, and when I'm presented with something a little more luxurious like this Mercedes AMG GT, I cannot stop until my OCD detailing passion is satisfied, which sometimes takes a while. By all means, I do enjoy my job and I do work incredibly hard for each vehicle and owner no matter what make the vehicle is, but it isn't every day that I get the privilege of working on one of these. When the basic yet safe and methodical wash was complete, the GT was thoroughly rinsed off. Stage 1 decontamination is to remove the small rotor deposits which are usually found on the lower areas of the vehicle. My chosen product for this is Auto Smart TARDIS, quite simply because this product has proved to be the most effective at this role. It was a simple case of applying the product directly to 1 or 2 panels at a time and then thoroughly working over with a fresh microfiber towel. The level of tar deposit contamination on the AMG GT was quite minimal in terms of other states that I've seen, so this single decontamination stage was completed in good time. For those vehicles that are heavily contaminated with tar deposits, then usually it is a case of repeating this process 2 or 3 times. Any more than that, then you must be doing something wrong. A quick and easy way to check that all of the rotor deposits have been removed, particularly with a dark coloured vehicle, is to simply run your hand across the paint and feel for any bumps. I do like to give the complete vehicle a thorough wipe down with the tar and glue remover, because this product is very handy at removing other types of contamination, and when each panel has been treated, the vehicle is thoroughly rinsed off. To give you an idea about the level of service that the AMG GT is undergoing, it's a service that allows me to spend 1 day on the car. I have the interior to sort out and the engine bay in addition to the exterior, so I've opted to use my time wisely, which was in the region of 8 hours. I did not have the time available to give the GT a full detail, which is why I'm skipping the iron fallout and the clay bar stage. I won't be ceramic coating this vehicle, and I'm not required to fully decontaminate the car for the owner, and I well and truly believe that my time is going to be better well spent on giving the paintwork a single stage machine polish. I have recently added this super large and ultra plush microfiber drying towel to the JP Details online store, so be sure to visit jpdetails.co.uk/store to check them out. Link in the description below. These incredibly soft drying towels measure 80 cm by 60 cm and they are 1000 GSM in weight with an incredibly soft and ultra plush microfiber pile. One towel will easily dry one car, so be quick while stocks last as there are only 25 available, with worldwide shipping. Whilst using this towel to dry the paintwork, I'm also using Maguire's Last Touch as the drying aid to offer the paintwork an even safer drying process. Maguire's Last Touch is going to help to lubricate the paintwork whilst adding a bit of extra gloss and shine. As you can see from the footage, these towels do make drying automotive paintwork effortless and quick, so please enjoy the footage whilst I finish drying the car off. The wheels were not forgotten about, and these were dealt with an ordinary microfiber towel and Maguire's Last Touch spray detailer. In an ideal world then I would have taken the wheels off, but I simply wasn't required to by the owner. Once again, this monstrous AMG GT does not sport carbon ceramic brakes, so I was free to use the ordinary gloss enhancing products. Unlike carbon ceramics and with these ordinary steel rotors, after the washing process the rotors do become rusty, which is easily dealt with by driving the vehicle up and down the unit's car park whilst gently applying the brakes. This is going to clean those rotors off nicely and remove that unsightly surface rust, preparing the AMG GT ready to go inside the unit. Step 1 inside the unit is to blow dry the gaps and crevices to remove the trapped water and to eliminate any drips. I'm using a 4 horsepower single engine Metrovac for this task, and with a bit of precision and due care, those potentially annoying and unprofessional drips are easily taken care of. With 8 hours to spend on the AMG GT, and like I mentioned earlier with the interior and engine bay left to sort, I jumped straight to conducting a single stage machine polish on the German's gunmetal grey paintwork. The objective with this single stage machine polish, whilst using the Rupes Mark II Bigfoot LHR 15 and a white Rupes 150mm finishing pad and the Rupes white ultrafine finishing polish, is to get the AMG's paintwork back to an incredible finish. This vehicle is being prepared for its imminent sale, and with the asking price of just over £100,000, a single stage machine polish in my opinion would be the bare minimum prep work required. I do not have the necessary time available to conduct a multi-stage paint correction, so instead I'm going to take my time and perform the single stage machine polish with obsession. To give you some further information about the condition of the GT, then it has only covered 6,000 miles, and within the past 12 months of being on the road, it has visited a few of the cheap roadside car washes which have caused a minor amount of swirl damage to the paintwork. This single stage machine polishing process is going to remove the bulk of those minor swirl marks and present the vehicle in a far better light. The key to giving the paintwork a solid shine with no holograms or any other nasties does involve a few key areas that need to be done right. This is started off by selecting the right polish and pad combination by conducting various test spots on the vehicle, just to see which combo works best. Make sure you IPA the paintwork to ensure that the desired finish is being achieved, and also make sure that you keep that polishing pad flat against the paintwork whilst not applying too much pressure. A soft polishing pad and ultra-fine finishing polish is working absolute wonders for this prestige vehicle, and with myself taking my time and following the very basics of machine polishing etiquette 101, I am leaving nothing but a lustrous and deep gloss finish behind. With the paintwork attended to and followed with gently yet thoroughly buffing the polish residue with a fresh microfiber towel, it's time to attend to the finishing touches. I'm using Auto Finesse glass polish to polish the windows to perfection, followed with wiping the excess residue for a crystal clear finish. There isn't much in terms of plastic trim for the AMG GT or chrome trim or anything other than paintwork, so the finishing touches were kept to a minimum. After thoroughly working the glass polish over the windows, a fresh microfiber towel was used to buff the polish residue, and this product is also going to make the windows bead the rainwater nicely. At this point I still have the interior left to fully clean and the engine bay to attend to, so I opted to use a spray wax for the imminent sale of the AMG in order to save enough time to finish the rest of the vehicle off. I've already applied Sam's detailing spray wax to the exterior and I'm now gently buffing it off. This product is going to provide a quick layer of protection without the time involved with applying a hard carnauba wax. I'd have loved to have given the AMG GT a full-on detail including the full decontamination process, multi-stage machine polishing and ceramic coatings from the ground up, but within my 8 hours it obviously wasn't possible. There is a bit of a plot twist to the story, hence the title of the video, and it is nearly time for me to tell you where all of this hard work was practically wasted. I didn't have time to record myself doing the cleaning and dressing of the engine bay, so here's the finished result. The 6.3 litre twin-turbo 577 brake horsepower beast of an engine is back to looking immaculate, which was a nice improvement from how it was looking before. Once again, due to the time constraints of this mini detail, I didn't record any footage whilst doing the interior, but here's the finished result. Lovely and clean, and now fit for a king or queen, or perhaps even Joe at JP Details, because it might be his lucky day. So originally the owner picks his car up after the service and continued about his daily life, which 1 week later involved him painting his garden fence with brown paint. The silly Billy didn't move his £100,000 plus change supercar out of the way enough and ended up giving his freshly detailed motor a fine layer of the fence paint. I got a phone call shortly after with the pleas for help, and whilst I had a solid booking schedule of 2 months, I said, "No worries mate, I feel your pain, I'll get the car booked back in." I hadn't seen any photos of the new paint job, so I wasn't aware of the new partial colour change, and even whilst on the vehicle's second arrival and before giving it a secondary clean and getting it inside the unit for a closer inspection was when I realised the full damage. Just a quick note, I didn't capture any footage of the AMG GT's second detail due to recording footage on the next training session, which was with Philip and his Renault Clio RS200. So the perk of this AMG GT series of unfortunate events for me was that I actually got to drive the thing and deliver it back to the owner's house. An opportunity that I couldn't miss out on was capturing the journey on the DSLR, and might I add that so far in my detailing career is this my biggest highlight. So whilst I navigate my way through my local town and out into the countryside, I'll give you the explanation behind sorting the garden fence overspray. When the owner dropped the car off on his second visit, he pointed out some overspray on the passenger headlight and said, "This is the problem." I said, "Yes, I can see, it shouldn't be a problem, leave it with me." 2 days later, I kind of regretted saying that. The overspray that I believed to be just on the front end of the car, or at worst down one of the sides, turned out to be pretty much all over. My first point of call was to get the AMG GT re-washed and inside the unit for clay barring. I began with claying the passenger side headlight and could see that the fence paint was coming off, so I continued to clay the rest of the front end and the bonnet. The issue with spotting the little brown fence paint specks was the fact that when the detail spray or clay lube was applied to the panel, you couldn't see them at all. I spent the following hour and a half claying the entire vehicle whilst monitoring the colour change of the white clay bar. It was turning from white to brown as time went on, so I thought, yeah, I must be making a real good impact here. I clayed the entire vehicle and continued to dry it off before taking it outside for an inspection under natural light. At first in the sun I thought, thank goodness all of those brown specks are now history. I looked closer and closer and was asked by a few of the neighbouring unit renters, "What on earth are you doing?" I briefly explained the story and they said, "It looks good to me." I got the car inside the unit and further inspected the paintwork with my good old trusty Scangrip handheld LED light. I flicked the light from 6K to 4.5K and there were those little brown specks once again. Those specks that appeared to be covering at least the top parts of the car and the passenger side had blended in to become another fleck in the metallic paintwork, but these ones were brown and not shiny grey, silver or gold. At that point I realised I still had a fair bit of claying left to do and began giving the exterior a second claying session without a second thought. Sure be it, the white clay bar was gradually turning brown again, so I continued this second claying session with a bit more precision than the first. I spent another hour and a half claying the AMG GT, and when it was dried off to my detailer's eye under varying levels of lighting, I couldn't spot any further brown paint specks that would concern me as if I was a potential buyer. After claying you must polish because chances are you have marred the paintwork, so once again I gave the AMG's paintwork a second single stage machine polish. The paintwork was wiped down with IPA, and with the help by Philip from Philip Aston Detail, his Instagram account is linked in this video's description, so be sure to check him out. We both applied a layer of built amber Finny wax to the AMG. We freshened up the interior and the engine bay to get the AMG GT back to a freshly detailed condition before delivering the vehicle back to the owner's house. The moral of the story is don't have your car detailed and then paint a fence nearby because it doesn't make sense. At least paint the fence first.
Oh well, shit happens.
As always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, just search JP Details. Be sure to check out the JP Details online store for the drying towels, plus a few other new items, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next one. This may be fun. Maybe not.